Hi, I'm Eric. This is the Long Box Review comic book podcast, and welcome to the Emerald City Comic-Con 2026 retrospective. Hello and welcome to the episode. I am joined by my wonderful and beautiful daughter, Maddie. Say hi, Maddie.
Hello.
Because she and I went to Seattle, Washington, just some days ago as we record this. This is the Tuesday after Emerald City Comic-Con, and we wanted to get together and talk about what we saw and did while we were there. This marks 10 years since we last went to Emerald City Comic-Con.
Too long.
2016 was our last year. And Maddie says, of course, too long because Madison really liked Emerald City Comic-Con when we went there in years past.
Emerald City Comic-Con was my favorite Comic-Con.
Okay, so let's start there. Why?
I don't know. I liked how big it was. It was the first Comic-Con I've ever gone to. And I loved seeing like all the cosplay. That's really where I got it started with my love for cosplay and art is at Emerald City Comic-Con. And I really loved it. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to go back since, it's been 10 years. So your mother and I first went to Emerald City Comic-Con in 2010. And then the next year, and we had a lot of fun. So 2010, this would have been March of 2010. So you were four. Yeah.
And so I think that's probably why we decided to just go the two of us. But then when I was there and I really enjoyed it and saw all the cosplay and all of the comic stuff and just the trinkets, the exhibitors and what they sell and all that stuff. I thought, you know what? Madison would really like this. Mm-hmm. And so we brought you the next year, 2011.
I was 5 the first time I went?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you were so disappointed that you could not dress up, that you had nothing to dress up as. But you were very much, this is my recollection, very much impressed by all the people who did dress up.
I love playing dress up.
Mm-hmm. So then the following year, 2012, that's when you brought, I think, 2? Was it just 2 costumes?
It would have been 2. I don't remember one of them, but I know since I was like little baby Maddie, I always dressed up as Harley Quinn. So that was one of my first cosplays, which I just brought back.
Was the other one just like a generic huntress type? Do you remember that one?
So that one wasn't until like much later. That was when I was like 11, 12 when I did that one.
All right. So you don't remember the other costume besides the yeah. It's been so long.
Yeah.
and then every year since, and I think we went from 2012 through 2016. We went every year, with maybe one exception. I'm thinking, my recollection is that we skipped Emerald City one year and went to Rose City Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then we returned, went until 2016, and then we stopped going to Emerald City, and I don't remember why.
I think you guys just liked Rose City more. It's smaller, and it's like, there's...
Well, I mean, that was part of it. Rose City at that time reminded me a lot of Emerald City when we first went. And also being smaller than that, but the vibe was kind of the same.
And it might have also been like easier for like while I was in school, maybe that time versus like when it was for Emerald City might have been like because
Rose City was during the summer.
Yeah.
You're right. That's probably the main factor.
Because I would have been like middle school going into high school. So
yeah. So that was probably it. And then so we went to Rose City for a few years. I forget how many now. I'm thinking 3, maybe 4 years we went to Rose City Comic-Con and obviously have not gone back to Emerald City until this year.
Yep.
And we missed, or we skipped, I should say. Well, we missed it too, but we skipped a bunch of years going to either one. And then last year, you and I took the trek to Charlotte and went to Heroes Con. And that kind of, and I told you this, and I think I said this on our Heroes Con episode from last year, that I felt like my desire to go to cons was reinvigorated, and I wanted to go to more. And you have been harping at me, let's go to Emerald City. Let's go to Emerald City.
I've been wanting to go back. And like you said at the beginning, it's been 10 years. We needed to go back.
Yes. So after my wife and I moved out here to beautiful Vancouver, Washington, and poor Maddie's still stuck in Idaho where we used to live.
Cold and rainy Idaho. Snowy.
Well, it's cold and rainy here today, though.
I know, but we get the snow.
Yeah, that's very true. That's something I do not miss. That's for sure.
That is something I will not miss. That's for sure.
But what is going to be hard to miss? Well, I say that, but we'll get into what we thought of Emerald City this year. But it's much easier, or at least it felt much easier to me, to get to Emerald City from where we're at here in Vancouver, because it's only it's a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive, but it's also like a 3.5 hour train ride, which is what we did. That you and I got on Amtrak and rode up early Thursday morning. So we left the station about 7, and then got into Seattle about 10:25 ish.
Yeah,
but then we had to hoof it to the light rail station and catch that train, which took us to downtown Seattle.
Which you kept putting us on the wrong side of.
Yeah, that's right.
Lots and lots of stairs.
Well, now that's not coming back. The first time we only went up and downstairs once.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was a little confused about that, but hopefully by the next time we do this,
it'll be a little easier.
I'll have it down. But yeah, we did that. But let's back up. So I want to ask you a question about this.
Okay.
So you wanted to get back to Emerald City, and you started to answer that. Did you finish that answer? Did you say everything you wanted to say about why you wanted to go back to Emerald City Comic-Con?
I don't know. I mean, Emerald City is the first Comic-Con I went to. Like, it's where my love of Comic-Con started, and obviously I wanted to go back. Plus, I like how big Emerald City is. I like the bigger cons because I feel like there's more to do and more to see. And like...
Compared to what?
Like Rose City and Heroes Con. Like Rose City, there's still a decent amount to see. Heroes Con was a lot smaller. But it's like, I like having like all the different like levels and things like everywhere. I don't know. It feels like so much more to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like having more. But... I don't know. And like I said, like the cosplay, I feel like that's also a much bigger thing at Emerald City than it was at Heroes Con. Cosplay's a lot more, like there was a lot more there. And I love seeing all of that. And then also just like, I don't know, I like the community there.
So one thing that you and I discovered about you last year at Heroes Con is how much you're willing to spend on art and trinkets.
Mainly art, and I bought a few t-shirts.
Yeah.
But 95% of that was art.
Yes, exactly. And I can't recall if we talked about this on the episode, but you definitely spent way too much money.
Hey, I, in my brain, had the money to spend.
Yeah, you did. But you also need that money for other things.
Well,
but that's beside the point at this time.
Too late.
Yep. So to me, it seems to me that your number one love of Emerald City Comic-Con is the cosplay, and followed very closely by the art. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know.
No, it's definitely the cosplay and then the art very, very close. Like I feel like depending on like how I'm feeling, it can switch back and forth easily. Because I love both like so much. Obviously, I love art, as we both know very much. But yeah, I love the cosplay and stuff, and I like seeing all the like different costumes and like everybody's like own creative takes on characters and stuff. I think it's just fun.
Yeah. So, and I mean, and like I said, starting in 2012, every Comic-Con that we've gone to, whether it's Emerald City and then Rose City and then Heroes Con, you have dressed up, and now back to Emerald City, you have cosplayed yourself, and you brought
2 costumes? Or no. It was 4 days, and you wore a costume every day.
Yeah,
That's
at
right.
Emerald
yes.
City this year, I had costume for every single day, different one.
Did you have an additional costume just in case you wanted to change your mind?
Nope.
Okay, so
I could have if I wanted to, but packing the 4 was already a lot.
yeah.
And that suitcase was heavy.
It was.
So,
oh my God.
No.
Me picking it up and pulling it down from the overhead compartment on the train, that was just like, holy crap,
You're
Maddie.
getting in your own personal workout. And that was with no props either. So
Yeah. Okay, so and that's I think that's why I was saying that's why I think cosplay is your favorite aspect of this.
I love it so much. I love playing dress up. I think it's fun, especially like with the characters that I like to cosplay. Like my Harley Quinn, I've always had like a spot for her. That's my first cosplay. It's one that I brought back. I love her so much. But no, my Raven is also one of my favorites because everybody knows Raven. Everybody loves Raven. It's like, it's a fan favorite.
That's so Raven?
No. Wrong one, buddy. No, my Raven from Teen Titans. And
Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go?
my Raven is, I feel like it's a mix between the two, but I like the design of Raven from Teen Titans more, but I grew up watching Teen Titans.
I was going to say, you mean the animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to the comic book.
Well, I haven't read the comic book yet.
You're just breaking my heart.
I read Teen Titans Go, the comic books. But
you should go back to the source material and read New Teen Titans, which is where Raven started. And then over the decades, she developed into the animated versions of her. So
yeah, I should.
Yes, you should.
I know. But as I was saying, not only is it a fan favorite, it's a favorite of mine. And I love it so much. And I feel like whenever I wear my Raven, it's just like it gets the most recognition from people. Now it's pretty much tied with my Jinx from Arcane, though. Everybody is like knows that show now, and like a lot of, especially like the younger like teenagers to like adults, they all know it, they love it. I had a lot of kids come up to me when I was hanging out, coming up to me and being like, "Oh my God, I love your cosplay. Like, I love that character so much." And then one kid went, "I love the cosplay. I think it looks really good. Do you want a little duck?" And I thought it was so funny.
A kid gave you the duck?
Mm-hmm. It was like a group of like girls who were like 13 years old, and one of them, like the group came over to me, but one of them was like actually like talking to me and stuff, and I was like having a conversation with her, and she went, "Well, do you want a duck?" And then the other one pulled out like 4 bags full of like these little ducks.
Oh, interesting.
And they were like, "We have different colors."
They must have been walking all around the con and handing out these little ducks.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cute.
That is cute. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I knew you got the duck, but I don't think you told me the story behind it.
I didn't tell you the story.
All right.
I said I have a duck.
So, like you said, you mentioned you cosplayed as Harley and Raven and Jinx, and what was the 4th one?
Max from a Goofy movie.
Yeah, which is actually the first day that you did.
Yeah, first day was Max from a Goofy movie because it's the simplest outfit, simplest cosplay. It was a closet cosplay.
Yeah, with a bit of makeup.
Yeah. It was really, really simple.
Yeah.
But
but this is the thing I thought was really interesting because you were just basically dressed in jeans, a t-shirt, and were you wearing overalls?
No, so I had black Converse, a pair of jeans, and then I had a black like cropped long sleeve undershirt, and then a red shirt to go on top of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I had a little
cap.
Baseball cap that
was backwards.
I was wearing backwards, and I had my hair in pigtails and like drew on a little nose and stuff. But the hat was like a teal hat that said "Big Duck Energy" because I thought it was funny and it fit the character.
But that character does not wear such a cap.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
Big Duck Energy.
Okay, it doesn't say that, but he wears a lot of baseball caps backwards like that.
Yeah. But my point is with as you, what'd you call it?
Closet cosplay.
Closet. I can't say the it's too many C words. Closet
cosplay.
So
Yeah, I mean, you were. If it wasn't for the way that you drew your little nose, the little black nose on there to make it look like Max, you were evoking the character in your dress with like I said, with a little bit of makeup. You didn't even have like the big
Nope.
White gloved hands that we saw on somebody else doing. I don't know what Mickey Mouse. Yeah. And yet, and this is the cool thing. I thought people knew.
Yes.
You were Max.
Yep.
I was astounded.
It's a really, really simple look. But yeah, all you have to do is add that little nose and people know what you're trying to be. Max is such a like huge character from like my generation, from like what we grew up with. Like I feel like you either loved and watched Goofy movie and like that was a huge thing for you, or like you were on the other side where like you have no idea what that is. And
well, that to be fair, I am of that because I'm a father of of kids who watched it. Although I've never seen it, I know of it and I know the characters and I know that it's a big thing for some reason.
It's a good movie. It's so good. Like Max is, I feel like, such an iconic character for like my generation, and I feel like he deserves a lot more recognition. Like the Ducks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie all get, like, everybody knows those characters. Those characters are very well known. But if you say like Max, half the time people don't know what you're talking about.
Well, but Huey, Dewey, and Louie were in quite a few Walt Disney animated shorts for decades. And they have a much wider timeline of viewing experience with the audience. Unlike Max, who was in a movie or two and maybe even a short run series. I don't know.
He was in a few things, but I feel like I understand why the Ducks are more well known, but I feel like it's wrong that Max wasn't in more, considered how loved he is by my generation. But yeah, definitely a lot of the people who recognized Max were people in my generation.
Yeah. So given that, because I feel like Max was kind of a, I don't know, how do I want to say this? More imaginative cosplay.
Yeah.
Because you took ordinary pieces of clothing, put them together in a way that, like I said, evoked the character. Whereas the other three were actually costumes that you purchased and added wigs to and props. Well, normally props, but you didn't bring the props this time.
Props and more accessories.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, you kind of went cosplay light, so to speak, as far as the props go. But those are more recognizable characters because you're wearing merchandise that you purchased.
Yeah.
One of the big things about this con, and maybe we'll transition to that, just kind of what are the things that we. Or what did we think about this Emerald City Comic Con, 10 years later? And the one thing that I wanted to get or have us talk about is the cosplay aspect. You mentioned community, and I assume you meant the cosplay community.
Yes.
Actually, Maddie, before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit more with you about your expectations for this con, given that it's been 10 years. And you told me multiple times, especially after Heroes Con last year, about, I want to go back to Emerald City. I want to go back to Emerald City. To the point where I'm like, at first I was like, no, you're bugging me, kid. But then I was like, no. I want to go back too, because it's been so long. And so we were able to make that happen this year. So, but what did you think the show would be like? And you can answer in any kind of specific way or just generally, whatever comes to mind. But I'm really curious because we haven't talked about this other than what, we did talk a little bit while we were traveling there, or while we're on the show floor, as we experience things about what it was like, and compare that to what it turned out to be. So what were you hoping it would be, or expecting it to be?
Well, because when we went, it was all in one building, and I knew it was like split into like the two buildings now. But I was honestly expecting there to be a lot more than there actually was. And like, especially like,
because because it was in 2 buildings.
Yes, but also just like from how I remember it, there was so much like, and it was very difficult to get through everything in 4 days from what I remember. And that might have also just been because I was tiny, but
yeah.
I also remember it being a lot more like packed, and the aisles were a lot smaller, and like it was just like controlled chaos in a way. It was just like
barely controlled, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a lot. But like there just seemed like there was so much, and there was like so many like specific areas. Like obviously there's the artist alley, and then there's the area with like all the extra stuff like that you can like buy and like
the exhibitors.
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. And then there was like a specific kids area, and there was
there really wasn't.
There wasn't really a kids area.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah, there was a specific kids area the last time we went, which I remember specifically because I was a child. But no, so I was expecting to see something like that, but that wasn't really there. And last time I remember there was no arcade, which they had this time, like that a small, tiny little one.
Now they did have an arcade area the last few Rose City Comic Cons.
Yeah, but not the Emerald City.
But yeah, you're right.
And I remember there being a lot more food options, like actual like concession options.
I think your recollection is off there.
Well, that's just what I remember, but I mean, I don't know.
I remember us eating a lot of pizza. Oh, when we were there before,
well,
which we did do ourselves, but there were more food options.
There were no hot dogs in there. We had to go somewhere else to get hot dogs.
Yeah. Well, we will talk more about food for sure.
Yeah.
But okay, so was that everything you wanted to say about your expectations or what you remembered about the con versus what?
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like we'll talk more about like the whole cosplay thing later. Like the cosplay community was still the same. It will always be the same. But
did you expect it to be any different or more prevalent, less prevalent? What was your expectation there?
I expected it to stay the same. I mean, when we went the first time, there were so much cosplay. Like the community was already huge, and yeah, it's like a growing community with like some new fandoms and stuff like that. But I mean, it was about as big as I expected it to be. The fandoms of cosplayers has definitely like changed from a little bit more of what I was expecting. I was expecting more like DC superhero like that, or like Marvel, like a little bit more of that than there was, because it was like, I feel like 95% of it was like anime or arcane or video games or like some random shows like Has Been Hotel or The Amazing Digital Circus, which like stuff like that. But yeah,
I agree that was the biggest realization I had about the cosplay this year at Emerald City, was that there were so many characters. I have no idea who they are. They look like you said, either from anime or even video games. And I'm so out of that arena that they were fun to look at. I kept seeing some of the same characters done differently by different cosplayers. But it was just like, why is that character or that look so popular? Because I have no context for it, and I probably was bugging you too much, saying, "Do you know what that is? Do you recognize this? Who is that?"
It didn't bother me. It was like, because I do recognize quite a few of those fandoms, and I recognize a lot of those characters. Just the few that you actually asked me about, I had no clue about. If you asked me about like 50% of the other ones, I would have been able to tell you.
Yeah,
but it's like, some of those are like thrown out where it's like, yeah, I've seen a lot of cosplayers do this character or something similar to this. I have no idea what it's from though.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch anime.
That surprises me, honestly.
It's not something where it's like, I just refuse to watch it. It's like, it's on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I have other shows that I've been watching. So.
And other shows you repeat watch.
arcane. But yeah, so it's like stuff like that. And the video game characters, those I'm less likely to know because it's like I'm not that into those video games.
To illustrate this point, we went to the regional cosplay contest on Saturday night.
Yep.
After hours, and when they would announce what the person was cosplaying as, I didn't recognize like 95% of all of the contestants.
I recognized the game names. No idea who any of the characters were.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the games I've heard of because I have a lot of friends and people who play video games. So it's like, I've heard of this stuff, but it's like, I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think my good buddy Travis probably would know more of those things than I, because he plays a lot of video games. And I basically only play one.
Yeah.
So.
And I play a few different ones, but none of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the cosplay. Because the one thing I noticed was that there were, besides just generally anime and video game, there were some trends that I saw. The first one I recognized because I saw multiple people and different people doing this. And it's the most bizarre thing to me. Mimes, French mimes, some of whom carried, and I don't know if they're real, baguettes.
Yeah, there were a lot of mimes with baguettes. And there was one, so there's this dog that's like kind of Instagram famous, like TikTok famous. So the dog that we saw.
The one that the owner
presses
had opened
the button to open the door.
That's a famous...
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So I found that out because Emerald City actually posted about the dog being like, come find me. And like had a picture of the dog like sitting like all posh, like on his hind legs with its front legs crossed at the top. And he had on like this little French outfit with a baguette and stuff. And it was it was so cute. But see, that was a whole thing.
I just thought this was someone's pet and who had trained the dog very well and brought it as part of their cosplay. I didn't realize that the dog itself was famous.
The person wasn't in cosplay. The dog was, but the human wasn't.
I thought she was.
No. And I thought that was funny. But yeah. No, one of the other trends that I saw, obviously, makes sense, is shows like The Amazing Digital Circus and then Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, which those two shows are called the Helliverse. So a lot of characters from that. And then, yeah, The Amazing Digital Circus because 3 of the voice actors were going to be there. So
okay.
That's why that one was so popular this year.
And speaking of the celebrities, a bit of a sad story because Maddie and I were really looking forward to having a photo op, which I had purchased with, do you want to say?
Yes, David Tennant.
David Tennant.
I am so disappointed about that. But not only am I disappointed about that, I feel like when we don't go to Emerald City Comic Con, the Doctor, my favorite, decided he was going to go to Emerald City Comic Con, and I was so upset. And so the one time we go back...
Wait. When you say the Doctor, your favorite, you mean...
Matt Smith.
Yes. You got to remember, not everybody knows you personally.
Oh, right. My bad. Matt Smith, the best Doctor. Anyway, David Tennant was going to be there. He's my second favorite. I do really like him. It's just Matt will always have...
Yeah.
He will always have that place in my heart. He's my favorite.
Yep.
But yeah, I was really looking forward to doing that photo op with David Tennant. And I like him not only as the Doctor, but like as all the other characters I've seen him play. And I don't know. It was just sad, disappointing.
Yeah. It was. But I don't know if you heard this when we were walking around. I think we were together at that time. But I heard this small group of people as they were walking ahead of me a little bit, and then they veered off. But they were talking about David Tennant having canceled.
Yep.
And made a joke about it because apparently it happens quite often.
Yeah, I heard that too. And they were saying that not only does David Tennant cancel quite often, so does the guy who was supposed to be there for the Princess Bride. That guy?
Carrie.
Yeah. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I always.
He was supposed to be there, and then he also canceled the first day of Comic-Con. Canceled. That's when it was announced. And so they were also talking about how he does that a lot as well. Okay. So it's him and David.
I didn't catch who the other person was. I for some reason I thought they were talking about Michael Rooker, I think his name is.
No, he was there.
Yeah. So I wanted to point this out too because my older daughter Brittany really loves Ian Somerhalder, and when I pointed that out to her that he was going to be there, she's like, "Are you going to get a picture, or at least walk by and get a picture?"
Yeah.
And I told her no, but that is why that one day, I think it was Friday that we did that. We walked by
the celebrities.
Yeah, where people would get their autographs, get the celebrities' autographs and their pictures and whatnot. Yeah. And nobody was there. Ian Somerhalder was not at his table. Neither was Kyle MacLachlan, whom I actually would have been kind of excited to see. Do you know what he's most famous for?
No.
Twin Peaks?
I haven't seen that.
You know what? That's something you probably should watch sometime.
Yeah.
At least the mythology episodes.
Okay.
Not these stupid ass soap opera-esque type episodes of the show. But that's mostly the second season. Yeah. Anyway.
No, because a lot of the celebrities that were there were obviously like some of the main ones, and then I feel like the other half were just voice actors, because they also had the main two from Gravity Falls who play Dipper and whatever his sister's name is, I can't remember right now. That's gonna bother me because I loved that show.
Yeah, that's a great show.
But yeah, that's why so many people were dressed up as characters from Gravity Falls as well.
Well, I'll tell you, if we're going to compare Emerald City Comic Con 10 years ago and now, I mean, that is a big thing that has changed. Having voice actors be celebrity guests instead of just, I don't even know what you would call it, the screen actors.
Yeah.
But I mean, they sort of are too, but it's a stupid distinction because they're all actors.
Live action versus voice acting kind of thing.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. Who is there anything else involving the celebrities? Oh, I mean, William Shatner was there.
Yeah, you saw him.
So, and I did attend his Saturday panel on the main stage, and that was fun. I saw him years and years. In fact, I think it was one of the later Emerald City Comic Cons that we attended before we stopped going, that I went to a main stage panel with him on it. And it was fine. But it's like, I think I've had my fill of the Shat. So, but since he was coming and he as my wife pointed out, he's getting up there in years, and she knows that when Shatner dies, I'm going to be a sad puppy. She kept reminding me, "Hey, you should go see him just in case." It's so macabre, but I did, and it was I had a good time. He was quite funny and also a bit cringy, but that's William Shatner in a nutshell, right there. So
yeah, I was gonna go to the Jamie Cambo Bower panel, but I decided not to because I didn't want to go by myself. But I like him. And from like interviews I've seen with him, he's funny.
So that's cosplay. Is there anything else you want to say about the cosplay? What besides the trends and whatnot, what were some of the coolest cosplays that you saw?
There was one I was thinking of, but I can't remember. I really liked the...
Well, while you're hopefully thinking of it, I will say, I saw a lot of amazing cosplay. But at the cosplay contest, the regionals that we attend, or was that the other night? No, it was the regionals.
It was regionals.
We both agreed that there was one entrant who should have won altogether. She only won like a favorite category or something, but it was what do they call it? A clicker?
It's the clicker from The Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of Us, And just, I mean, it was just a simple looking costume, but it really evoked that character from the series.
She also
and the way
had,
she moved on stage.
the mannerisms of the
Oh,
clickers.
that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And then I think some of my favorite cosplays, though, any cosplay that has really good wings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love wings. And so it's like, especially the ones that like you can actually control to go in and out.
Yeah.
Those, I love those. I think they're really, really cool. And then...
Well, speaking of they weren't wings. I mean, this was a cape, but this is something that we both saw and appreciated. There was one young lady walking around with this cape that was like made out of fake flowers.
Leaves.
Oh, it was leaves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the way that they were all different colors as you went up and down the cape.
It's like in the fall when the leaves are changing colors.
Yeah.
That's how she had it set.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And you eventually complimented her on it.
Yeah, my awkward little go up to her and give her a compliment, and then run away.
Well, I did, there's a few times where I did that. I'm like, hey, really cool, whatever. And, half the time they don't even hear you because their mind is elsewhere and they're walking somewhere. And so, but, I don't blame them for that. But
yeah.
I mean, there was a few times where I think some people said something to you. I'm like, I made a comment about it and you're like, what? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you said that a few times, but then also it's like, I'll hear somebody like compliment me or say something to me, but my brain will like glitch and I will like turn to say thank you or say something to them.
And you freeze?
And then I'm just like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
It's really, really bad. I'm trying to be better about it because it's like, I'm always trying to say like, thank you. And like, yeah, that's nice. But it's like, I glitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is.
No, because I'll be with
you need to work on that.
I know, but I'll be like, even so that's not just a thing with cosplay. I'll be like out on a normal day and somebody will compliment my outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the same thing. I like look at them and then I don't say anything. And I'm like,
let me tell you from experience, when you just look at somebody when they've complimented you and you don't respond, they think you're an asshole.
Yeah, which is why I try to be better about it.
I don't know why I know this, but I do. Okay, so were there any other prominent cosplays that you can recall?
Obviously, there was quite a bit of Star Wars, but Star Trek was very, very, very prominent this time.
You think so?
Yeah. I saw a lot of Star Trek.
Well, I mean, Shatner was there, so.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But no, there was quite a bit.
But speaking of that, what I found interesting was that, yeah, there were quite a few. No, I couldn't even say that. There were a few original series tunics that I saw. What I mostly saw, though, were people who had, I guess, made these or bought them from someplace. I don't know. But from Star Trek Lower Decks.
Yes.
And so, yeah, in fact, I think I saw more blue and yellow Lower Decks costumes than, the command red.
There was a lot
maroon.
of blue and yellow.
Yeah, a lot of blue and yellow. And then the other thing I saw were at least 3 gentlemen wearing the Picard Season 3 jacket, which was really cool. Like that black leather and really dark red shoulder patches.
Yep. But I want to cosplay Badgie from Lower Decks. I think it would be so fun. I love Badgie so much.
Yeah.
And whenever we see anything that's Lower Decks, I'm always looking for Badgie. One of my favorite characters.
I think that would be easy to put together, but really difficult to move around in.
I'd find a way.
Okay. Well, I'd be glad to help you if you want to develop something like that.
We should be.
But then,
we should make me Badgie.
Oh my God. How do we transport that? We'll have to think about that.
That's a problem for later.
Or maybe just that's just something that we do at Rose City because that we could easily drive that over there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Was there anything else cosplay wise, or should we transition to something else?
I don't really think there was much else for cosplay. So, I mean, we talked about most of it. I feel like the main other group was K-pop Demon Hunters. So there was quite a bit of that, but
I thought there'd be more, quite honestly.
Yeah, there was a lot less than I was thinking there would be, but I feel like a majority of cosplay was taken over by the amazing digital circus, and that's because the voice actors were there.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. What else? What other things were you expecting that you didn't get, or you did even, or you were surprised about at this con?
I don't know. The one thing that I knew wasn't going to be there, but I will always miss is Kirby Crackle. Kyle. I always miss seeing Kyle at Comic-Con. Emerald City, I was always excited to go see him and say hi.
Yeah.
I miss his stuff.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Kyle's still performing and doing things. He's just not doing it in the way that he did before COVID hit and he had to take care of his family. But yeah, it didn't seem like Emerald City to us, because we weren't able to, one, go see a Kirby Crackle performance, and two, go talk to Kyle at his booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that became a thing. So much so that he started recognizing us after a few times. And, especially...
He knew who I was.
He knew who you were. Yeah, exactly. So, anything else like that?
Not really. I mean...
I've got one.
That's just a main one that I can think of. What is yours?
No frickin' comic books.
Oh, yeah. That okay. I was surprised about, actually.
Let me rephrase that. There were comic books. There were people selling comic books on the show floor.
Not very many.
But there weren't as many. And the booths were smaller.
Yep.
There were a few vendors that I did not recognize from either Rose City or previous years at Emerald City. The only one that I knew for sure that I recognized was Randy's Readers Comics. And he's the guy that, I don't know if you remember him. He's the guy that had the comics that he sold for like $1, $2, $3 maybe.
Yeah, I remember.
And they were, I mean, it's in the name, Readers Comics. They're Readers Comics. They're not pristine, and they're not pressed, and they're not, very good or better comics. So, but even though I stopped by there and kind of flipped through some Alpha Flights because I wanted to start getting those or that series after I stopped collecting it, he just didn't have enough of a run of things to get. Plus, I found recently, I don't know if I told you this, I put it out on Blue Sky. I flipped through an old Teen Titans comic from the 70s that I got from him. And I know that because it was left in the original bag with his distinctive handwriting on the sticker for the price. And one of the pages has a big old hole in it.
Oh.
And it's not one of those pages where and you may not even know about this. In the older comics, there were ads. And sometimes there were ads in which you filled out a coupon and either tore it out or you cut it out and then sent it in to get a brochure or, an ordering form or, whatever. Or you put money in the envelope when you could do things like this. Send money in through the mail and then they would send you merchandise.
Odd.
And so, I mean, I've encountered that where somebody has clipped a coupon out. But this was not a ad coupon situation. It was just like this big hole that was, I don't know how it got tore out of there. It's not like a cut. It's like it's a rip in the middle of the page, and it was missing a crucial panel of the story. I'm like, God damn it.
They wanted to keep that one panel.
I guess maybe. Anyway, so now, when I realized that, I'm like,
the dog wanted it.
I didn't want to exactly buy more of those. And as I recall, he didn't like it when you open them up to look at them. And I'm like, yeah, now I know why. No, I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, yeah, I remember there's one vendor, I can't remember what he called himself, and maybe he's out of business now. I know, it's been 10 years, right? But he had a substantial floor space last time we were there. And that's where I bought a ton of Hellblazers to complete my run of that 300 issue series.
I remember because I was standing there for so long and I was like, can we leave yet?
Yeah, yeah. And he would make you a deal, you know, since I bought a good chunk of his Hellblazer and some other things from him. He gave me a discount for those issues. He wasn't there. T-shirt vendors. Usually there was one. Maybe it was Stylin' Online. Now Stylin' Online was there, but they were selling those boxes of things. I don't know what exactly they are. You remember
They're
what
like
I'm talking
mystery
about?
boxes.
Mystery boxes. Yeah, that's what I want to say. But no T-shirts.
Yeah.
There were a few people, mostly artists, who were selling their own prints of their work on T-shirts, but that was about it.
Yeah, there weren't really any big T-shirt vendors. I mean, there was the one that we got stuff from.
Oh, you're right. There was maybe there was one or two, but it
like
was
that was it.
Nothing that was really that enticing, that interesting to me.
Yeah.
What I found, it seemed like most of the vendors that were there were selling. They were gaming vendors. They were selling dice. So many tables selling dice.
Lots and lots of dice. D&D.
The game stuff was really big this time, comparatively. They had a larger writers section.
Yep.
You know, sci-fi fantasy writers, which, by the way, I tend to skip those, skip over those. But I have to say, their booths, quite a few of them, they really went all out to get your attention. And that's impressive for, writers to do stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let's see, what else was there? There, like I said, gaming. I mean, there was some jewelry stuff.
Yeah.
There was something. Oh, dang it! There was
the old movies and.
Oh, that guy's always there.
Is he?
The one where I bought the 2 DVD sets. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy's always there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been there since I even started going to Emerald City, and he charges way too much. But I bought stuff anyway. No, there was, what was it? There was something else. Like I said, there the gaming, and then there was one other thing. Do you remember what I said when we were talking about it before? There was another kind of big group of exhibitors doing their stuff. No? Okay.
Not
Never mind.
Clue. I have no idea what you're talking about. Because there's all the game stuff. There's not very many T-shirts this time. There was a lot of jewelry and clothing. Not shirts, but like clothing, like dresses and skirts and bags and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, there was that. And they were, superhero or fantasy themed, but they're also the people, the Leatherworks people that, selling their vests and bags and belts.
Lots of like Ren Fair stuff.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Ren Fair fantasy type vendors. There was
one like specific one who had like dresses and stuff that was like called like cottage fantasy kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And she had like dresses and like the like shawl things like over dresses and like I don't know. She had a lot of that stuff, and then obviously, like you said, the Leatherworks, where they have like little leaf-shaped bags and stuff, and like vests and all that stuff. And then obviously, there's also like some prop people as well.
Oh, right, but they're always there.
They're always there. They're at every Comic-Con.
The ones that make the plastic swords and guns and all that stuff. Yeah.
The one I was just thinking of is the cyberpunk people who had like the cyberpunk like masks that you can wear and the neon blades and the glasses and stuff like that. Like those guys were also there, and so it's just like stuff like that. Yeah. There's a lot more of that.
Well, like I said, I think it's the fantasy and gaming, which is all, they're kind of tied together in a way, right?
Yeah.
Via D&D. That was more prevalent to me than comic books.
Yep.
And it's I know this is a pet peeve of mine. It's a comic con. If you want to be a pop culture con, great. then change your name to Emerald City Pop Culture Comic Con. Or Pop Culture Con, not Comic Con.
Well, there are Comic Cons, there's anime cons, there's like
I know this.
Gaming cons. It's like, so yeah, why make a Comic Con so based on that other stuff?
Well, and see, this is the reason that I stopped going to Emerald City, because they, even back in 2016, 10 years ago, that's where they were headed. They were headed more towards the celebrity guests, the actors coming in, for the big movies and the superhero stuff and, whatever. And it seemed to be less of a focus on comics. And that's where it started out. That's why Emerald City was so great. It was a biggish con that was focused on comics. But then the originator of Emerald City Comic Con sold it to Reed Pop. And those last couple years that we went, or at least the last year that we went, there was a distinct difference in kind of like the tone of the show.
Yeah, because I remember the last time we went, it was a lot more shifted towards anime. That's where I first started seeing a lot more of anime. It started there. And then when we went to Rose City, I was like, so this is actually a thing. Because a lot of art and stuff was anime based, and it was a lot of anime characters. So it's a lot of it I didn't recognize.
I don't think that the con was pushing anime. I think the fans, the anime fans, were coming out more to Comic Cons, and that's why you started seeing more and more of that.
It was just like, that's when I started noticing that switch. That was like after that stuff. So it's around the same time too.
Yeah. In fact, when we were talking with one of the artists in Artist Alley, they asked me, how's your con going? I'm like, well, it's pretty good. And I think it was one of the ones I was buying stuff from.
Probably.
And I said, I feel like, they're not, there's not enough comics in this Comic-Con. And, this person agreed with me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So, whenever as Madison started going to Comic Cons with me, the first thing that she would want to do is walk through Artist Alley.
That has not changed.
Exactly. And that became one of my favorite things to do, because you were so excited and so interested in all this art that you were seeing in front of your face.
Yep.
Which mirrored how I felt, but I didn't have someone to kind of share it with in the same way that you and I do.
Yep. That was in my point of my life where I was like, I want to be an artist and I want to work on comic books.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Whatever happened to that?
I still love drawing and I still love doing art. And so it's just become more of a hobby than really like what I want my career to be. Because I feel like once I'm given like an actual prompt or like being told what to do and what to draw, I don't find joy in it.
So what have you been drawing lately then? Since you don't have that in your life?
I have random sketches. Like I draw a lot of like random things. Like really it's...
You haven't shown me this stuff.
So it's... What we describe it as is me and my friends, I describe it as like, it's ADHD art. As whatever my hand does is whatever my mind is wanting it to do. It's not, I don't start with anything.
You're not planning it out.
I don't plan on anything. Like that's how I get my most random drawings. And one of them looks so weird. And it's like the most random thing where it has like a balloon with a face in it. The face is made out of a bow and this and that. And then it also has Mike Wazowski in it and like random things. It's so random. Like it doesn't make any sense. And so my friends call that art like kind of like, it looks like schizophrenic art is how they describe it. So we call it my schizo art. And because it's just so random and it doesn't make any sense.
I think you guys need to come up with better names. FYI.
We should. But that's just what it's been called. But it's stuff like that, or it's a lot of like landscape or sunflowers or like random things. But one of the main things that I drew was when me and you were talking about making a comic book and the main character was going to be like a little bunny and we were going to have him running around and doing stuff. So I drew up quite a few different kinds of bunnies and he's in a bunch of different like outfits and he's doing a bunch of random things and it's just like there's a page full of bunnies in there as well.
You should post that on your Instagram.
I should make an Instagram for that.
And keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about this because what you just said about these kind of like the randomness of your art. But then remember there was this artist here, Eliana Esquivel, that we saw. And I'm looking at her business card right now and showing Maddie. And she has a profile of a young lady, but then the top of her head is cut off. And you see this big wave of water splashing around in the head. And this is part of a print that I actually ordered after I got back from Comic-Con because I forgot to go back to the table.
Yeah, we forgot to stop by again.
But I was really impressed with her art and describe she had a piece there that you really liked too. Describe that.
Yeah. So I've seen her art online before. Like I recognize this artist. I know this artist because I've seen their stuff online and I really liked it. So when we saw her, it took me a minute to like realize that was her. But there was a print that I really liked that was like a girl sitting with her knees up and stuff, and like through her like back and stuff, it looked like kind of like an apartment complex in a way, where there were like small people like kind of going in and out and doing random things, and like at one point there's like a person like swinging, and so I don't know, it was just like a
surreal.
Yeah. And I really liked it. I love surrealism.
Yes. I really like her art too, but more interestingly, she had she had her art book out for people to flip through, and there were 3 sequential pages, or what looked like sequential pages, and I was flipping through, but that was the only 3 pages, and so I asked her about this. I said, "Is this part of something you're working on?" And she said, "Yeah, it's going to eventually be a book."
A 10-page book.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, 10 pages.
Yeah.
She's only got the first 3 because she started it probably like a month before the
That's
con.
right.
And so she's going to finish it when she gets back.
Yes. And that is what I'm looking forward to. And now I'm following her. And after I followed her, I see that she posted on her Instagram that she's going to be working, or is working, or the 4th page will be done soon. So anyway, but that's what I mean is like, you know, this person did art, not the same thing that you're doing, but in a similar vein, or at least a similar approach. Right. So, you know, keep at it. You could be going to cons and trying to sell your work like this person. One of the things, like I said, we went through Artist Alley, and usually what we do is when we get the first thing we do at a con is go through Artist Alley, and we just walk through. Just walk through and look at everything. We tend not to buy anything. Plus, we were also on a very strict budget this time.
Yeah.
Because we have another trip coming up. So, plus, you know, we took the train, and we didn't want to have to carry a bunch of stuff from the hotel back to the train station, and
it would have been so worth it.
Anyway. But the next day, on Friday, we started our day by going back through Artist Alley. Yes. And starting to buy things.
Yeah.
And so I think we should talk about that kind of stuff, and also about some of the other vendors and artists that even though we didn't buy things from them, I wanted to mention them because we were really intrigued by their work. So let's talk about some of the things that you bought.
Okay.
So where do you want to start?
So for day 1, I bought 2 things. So I bought a sketchbook from Chrissy Zulo. And then I also got a few stickers. I got a Jeff the Land Shark sticker, a Harley Quinn one, a Jinx one, and a Death sticker. And then I bought a art book from Babstar because I have always loved her. And she is pretty much, I feel like, where my actual comic reading and love for comics started, because of her Batgirls and like Harley Quinn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's interesting about Babstar, I noticed, was that she was at one of the Rose Cities that we went to.
Yeah, I met her and I got a picture with her.
Right, but I mean later. Mm-hmm. And so this has been a few years ago, and she was charging $30 for her prints, where most people charge $20.
Yeah, maybe
$25. Right, but she was charging $30, and she still is. Mm-hmm. That's the thing I find interesting.
That she hasn't raised her prices. She
hasn't raised her prices. You know, there could be a lot of factors to that, but I felt like Because you really, at one point, I don't remember when this was, but you really wanted to get one of her prints. And she was charged, like I said, she was charging $30. I'm like, I think that's a little much for a print. She's good and all, but $30 is too much.
Yeah, it was this last con because I wanted to buy something and I didn't see the art books originally. You pointed those out.
No, this was even before that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say, same thing at this con, though.
This was several Comic-Con attendances that where that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, same thing. You wanted to get one of her prints, but it was $30, and that was one of the I think that's one of the things we both agreed on is that, it's better if they have an art book.
Just buy the art book.
Buy the art book because most likely the print that you wanted is in the art book.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did get into a bit of a row in front of Chrissy Zulo, and I feel really bad about that.
That's because I was confused.
Yeah, and I wasn't being clear. I told Madison I would buy her some stuff that she wanted there, but Madison thought I meant some prints. I'm like, no, the stickers. and I thought she knew what I was talking about, and she was not at all certain what I was talking about. And then poor Chrissy Zulo was sitting there looking at us like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it resolved. So what else did you get?
Okay.
Well, the first thing, because I see it in the pile right there, the first thing you got was from the first person that we bought something from.
Yeah.
Which was Keezy Young.
And I got this print of this girl who's like dressed up and has her face painted like clown. Mm-hmm. But it's like a very, very colorful person. And I love the hair because it's like pinks and purples and blues. And I don't know if it's just because like I like the hair just because of that, but she also has the hair up in like 2 space buns with like the 2 front pieces out, which is also one of my signature hairstyles. I was gonna say, it's like this is something I would do as well, which it might be why I like it so much.
You could cosplay as this and then go back and show her. I think this is from her Mean Girls or Horrible Girl. I don't remember what she called it now.
I really like this, so I should because it is one of my like. It fits my character quite well.
Yeah. And since we're talking about that, I did buy some stuff from her. In fact, there were 3 or 4 different artists that I really wanted to stop by and see and support them by buying something. And she was the primary one because I've been following Keezy Young ever since she published this comic book from Silver Sprocket called Sunflowers. And then more recently, she put out a graphic novel called Hello Sunshine, which I bought as well. I was going to bring it and have her sign it, but I didn't because I was like, I'm already, my stuff's already full. So, but what she had there though, were 3 other, she had Sunflowers there and Hello Sunshine, of course, but then she had these 3 other smaller comic books in the same format as Sunflowers, that one of which I knew because she just released that at the time of this recording as a digital comic book. And I bought it because I like her work and I want to support it. Well, she had that printed. I was like, well, now I can buy it as a print, in print form. But then she had 2 other ones that I had no idea she had done. And it was because she had done them in 2022 and 2023. And I think Sunflowers came in 2024, maybe? Anyway, but now I have this 4 issue set of her work over the last several years, plus the graphic novel. So that was nice. It was really nice to be able to talk to her and let her know how much I enjoy her work. And I tried to do that with the folks that I really, really liked. There's a couple other folks I'll mention, but so what else, as we go on? So what else did you want to share? Well,
before I get into that, I had one more thought and it goes back to cosplay, but I was just thinking about this as you were talking.
Okay.
Cause we said I should cosplay, that clown, but I was also thinking, cause I remember mentioning this to you, how I think I should cosplay Jeff the land shark because I have an obsession with Jeff right now and I think he is the cutest little thing ever. So I should cosplay Badgie, her, and Jeff.
All right. That's your 3 new cosplays.
Yep. Next Comic-Con.
Get to work.
Come see me. Okay. The next few things I have are a Raven print that this man over here also has. And then I also have a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy one together where they're eating like burritos. And it's just like, it's a super cute little thing. I cannot remember the artist. Who is the artist?
The artist's name is, hold on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I was right. Samantha Dodge.
Yeah. I love her art. It looks really, really cool. But the Raven was definitely our favorite. We really, really love the Raven. It looks super, super cool.
Hold on now, because when you saw those and got that Raven, what was the other one again?
Harley Quinn and Ivy eating burritos.
Oh yeah, there were a few Harley Quinn pieces that she had.
There were quite a few, and then it was Harley Quinn and Gang. So it's like,
yeah. But I got what I originally got from her was this Wonder Woman piece that's in all different colors. She's got these flower tattoos on her arm. It's just kind of like a side profile of Wonder Woman. I just thought that was beautiful, mostly for the colors. But then as we were walking, and this happened on Sunday of the con, where we decided to go back through Artist Alley just in case there was something we missed or we were rethinking. And I could not get that Raven out of my head. And then also, she has this wonderful Phoenix. And mostly, you know what it is? It's the colors. And I complimented her on this. I said, the way that you contrast colors with the black and white or the black of your prints, I just think is amazing. And she told me that at least the
Raven and the Phoenix.
The Raven and Phoenix were part of Inktober.
Yep.
And then what she did is she took those black and white Inktober things that she did and scanned them and did the coloring in Photoshop, which, you know, I would never have guessed. But it's just amazing the variations of color and the how do I want to say this, considering that it is just digital, but it has a texture. To me, it looks like it has a texture to it that I really like.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
These next few things I got, I also cannot remember the artist of. Oopsies. But I got another Raven. And then I got a Echo and Powder from Alternate Universe in Arcane. And then I have a Jinx one. And
well, what's distinctive about, why'd you get those?
So for the Raven one, I really liked the all white background with a few like ravens drawn in, but I don't know, I just like her compared to the all white because it makes her stand out a lot more. Well, and I like how they did the face.
I
like the art.
So this is a Raven that is unhooded.
Yeah.
Showing all, her whole head, and it just has this. Here, let me turn that around so I can see it. It's almost like she's looking back or looking towards someone that's sort of behind her or off to her side. And it's not a happy face. So there's
what did Garfield do?
Yeah, what did Gar do? There's a story here. That's what this picture's evoking. I think that is what we're reacting to.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
But then the other one, the Echo and Powder, I feel like not very many people do really this version of them. They do like main. And this is from story.
Arcane.
This is Arcane. So this is their an alternate universe that Echo goes into. And this is the like two of the main characters in the alternate universe. And I really like these characters together. I think that's really cute. I don't know. They're just cute. And then the Jinx one that I have, I really like because it's like she's underwater, which is something that happens in the show. And I like the whole underwater thing, but they also have the arcane, like, kind of magic symbol up at the top, which I like, so.
This almost, her braids at the bottom under that are shown under her as she's kind of floating there in a fetal position, that almost looks like crayon.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
One of the things that speaking of color and the contrast, this is the second thing I bought there. And that is Joel Gomez's pumpkin head guy. I can't remember what he actually called it.
I don't remember.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you remember this one, right?
Yeah,
where it's just
I really wanted to buy something from him, but I didn't.
Yeah. It's just a pumpkin head dude in a suit, but around all of his head, it's glowing with this yellow and like I said, contrasting with the dark and everything. And I have this strict no print policy now for cons, and yet I felt compelled to buy a few things.
I don't
this time, and so that was I know. But that was the big change for me, or at least my reaction to Emerald City this time was it's like, oh wow, this work is so good.
Yeah.
That I want it. I want to bring it home. Even though it's like, you can look around my office. I don't have much wall space now.
Yeah, it's quite sad.
Compared to the old place, right? Okay, what else you got?
So, I have another Raven. Can you tell I like Raven? But this Raven is her doing meditation, and this is Teen Titans Go version of Raven. And it's like a little postcard, but I bought it because I really like the version.
Who's this by?
Agnes
Garboska.
Yeah, that.
Agnes Garboska.
I can never remember the last name. But at the bottom of the postcard, so she's in meditation and she's floating above it, but it says, "I'm listening. I just don't care." And I really like it. I think it's really funny. So I thought I should get that.
Yeah.
And then she gave me this little sticker as well, but it's a axolotl that's chewing on a star, and I think it's cute.
Oh wait, I haven't.
Yeah, see.
I guess I hadn't really. Oh, it is chewing on a star with a heart in the middle. That's cute. Very cute. So speaking of Agnes Garboska, one of the panels, so to speak, that we went to on, was that Thursday? The first day? I think 4:00. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was basically a draw off between her and Amy Meberson.
Two artists I really like.
Yes. They're both known for My Little Pony and
which is one of the things I grew up with.
Pocket Princesses and Teen Titans Go. I shouldn't say both of them. Those are the properties that they.
So Amy Meberson, I grew up with the My Little Pony stuff.
Right.
I think I've seen a little bit of her princess stuff, but I grew up more with Agnes's stuff because of her ponies, but also she did do Teen Titans Go, but she also did the DC Superhero Girls, which was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot of that stuff. So, yes, I was very happy to see them both.
It was really cool to see them not only drawing stuff and showing it on a big screen for everybody that was there, but the moderator. That was the one thing I would recommend Emerald City do is, maybe train your moderators to ask better questions.
Yeah.
And to engage with the artists. Because at one point it seemed like Agnes took over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the moderator wasn't quite moving things along. Anyway. But it was really great to see them interact with each other because they are friends. Mm-hmm. And, I guess I didn't, even though they worked on the same stuff or similar stuff, I didn't really think of them as actual friends. And that was quite apparent. And the way that they talked about how they do their art, why they do their art, they're both very, very fine working on others' IPs because it's good, steady work and it pays well. At least until AI takes over.
Yep.
So.
Hey, it's fine. Agnes has her social media. She loves taking selfies.
As she did during the panel. Yeah.
She took 3 during the panel, and it was really funny. Because every single time she would turn back and she'd start giggling.
Do you follow her?
I don't actually know. I follow a lot of artists, so I would have to look.
Yeah,
but probably to be fair.
So she does. She's really good with trying to get engagement, people engaged
with her and her work. And so she does a lot of video posts on Instagram. So you should definitely check them out.
Yeah, I should.
She's really good. She's really good at what she does.
I love her watercolor.
And yeah, that's the thing is she's constant every time, like at that panel. And then when I would see her at her booth, when she's working on a commission or something, you know, she's just, you know, so quickly just dabbing her, I don't know what it was. Was it a paintbrush or was it a marker? I don't know.
So it's kind of like a mix. It's a paintbrush, but the way she has it set up is like, it's kind of a newer thing that people have started using, but it's like a paintbrush with the watercolors, but on the end is like actual water. So you dip it in the water and then you do the paints and then you can just quickly move between the three things. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was doing. Yeah.
So.
Okay, good.
It's something I've looked at, so
All
that's
right.
the only reason why I know about it.
All right. The other thing was that I want to mention was that I spoke to both Amy Meberson and Agnes Garboska on different days, but you know, I told them, I think I told Amy how when we first started bringing you, about how old you were, and she's like, years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, but she was really appreciative that, you know,
because I was talking to her about how I still have quite a few of her pony drawings because it's like that was such a huge thing for me, and we got pony prints from her, and they're in my room or storage unit right now somewhere.
Yeah,
they're hanging out.
But yeah, 10, 15 years ago, she was one of the ones that you kind of glommed onto when you first started going.
Yep.
And then Agnes shortly thereafter.
Yep.
So, yeah. Hey, anything else that you want to share?
I have this other art that I got. It's Baymax mixed with the painting The Scream. And I love it so much. I don't know who this artist is. How do you say that?
Lemmy Lem? I think it's Lemmy Lem.
Yeah, I don't really know.
But yeah,
I love
it's Baymax as
the Scream.
In the Scream character in that.
Anyways, but I really like The Scream. I've talked to you about that. I love The Scream. I think it's like a fun little drawing. And I have earrings.
Fun little drawing.
I have earrings that are The Scream painting.
The 20th century's representation of existential dread. A fun little drawing.
We're all experiencing our midlife crisis right now. But no, and Baymax, I love Baymax. I love Big Hero 6. It's one of my favorite movies. So when I saw this, I was like, ooh, I need that.
So, okay. So that kind of surprised me, though, to see Baymax. Because it's been so long since Big Hero 6, right? And there's not been a sequel. And as great as that movie is, it's like, it almost seems like it's kind of run its course in terms of pop culture popularity.
Yeah, you would think.
But so what was kind of like what do you recall as being like the prevalent images of a lot of the artists? Like for example, I think we said this already. We expected to see a lot more of K-pop Demon Hunters. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there was some, but it didn't quite hit like say Harley did years and years ago. So what were some of the trends artistically that you can recall? Yeah,
there were some K-pop Demon Hunters. There was quite a bit of Arcane. Mm-hmm. The Arcane fandom is huge. You're always going to see Arcane now, I feel like. And it's not just because of Arcane, it's also League of Legends. So there was a lot of that. And then there was a lot of heated rivalry.
Oh, yes. I noticed that too.
Haven't seen that. I've heard a lot about it. That's for sure. I know people love it. Especially that cabin scene, I guess. I've heard a lot about that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
I'm sure somebody out there will. It's a spicy scene.
Yeah, I figured that.
But yeah. And then, yeah, obviously quite a bit of anime. There's a lot less How to Train Your Dragon than I thought. Because I feel like with the live action
movie, yeah,
there would have been more. So I was a little shocked that there wasn't as much as that.
The one thing I noticed a lot of, and
the reason that it pops to the front of my mind is that it seemed like either these fantasy / game type characters, because they all look very much the same, even though they were different artists drawing them.
Yep.
In fact, one of the artists that I follow on Instagram and I really like is Lauren Walsh, and she has some. So her creator owned thing is the Wooble.
I love it. It looks so cute.
It's just this rectangular gelatinous creature with a cute smile,
a little
and
slime
button eyes. Yeah, but there were. Do you remember the people on that I asked her about, where they actually look like people and not gelatin slabs? What they're from?
I remember you asking.
Okay, yeah, okay, but my point being that even though she was drawing very specific characters, they look a lot like this other artist's characters that are, I presume, different characters, but to me they look like D&D characters.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of D&D and like fantasy characters mix over.
I
feel like a lot of artists like to make their own fantasy characters, but it turns a lot towards D&D and the Ren Fair kind of thing. I feel like it all kind of just mixes together because it looks so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
I have one other print that I got, and then I bought a sticker, but I got a print of a bunch of different versions of Harley Quinn, and it's a lot of the Harley Quinn that I grew up with, like a lot of the versions of her I grew up with.
This is full body shots of Harley Quinn in her various guises. And who is it by? Mustafa Musa?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this is a lot of the versions of Harley Quinn that I grew up with, especially the one of the Harley Quinns in the middle where she's like in roller skates with the big mallet. I love that Harley Quinn, and I loved that version of her. I thought it was fun, and I always wanted to do that version of her because I think Harley on skates would be so fun. Because it's roller derby Harley.
Yeah. Is the version that you cosplayed as on here?
No.
The precise version?
No.
Well,
I mean,
he missed one then, didn't he?
He has kind of the outfit.
Yeah. But it's not quite the same.
It's not, because I did a different hairstyle.
Well, sure, but I'm mostly talking about the costume itself.
Yeah, the costume is there.
Oh, okay.
It's that one right by roller derby.
Okay.
But I mixed like 3 different Harley Quinns because I had that outfit. I had Harley when her hair is braided and it's black and red, and then I did like more of a Margot Robbie Harley Quinn makeup look. Mm-hmm. From the newest movie, I think, so Birds of Prey. I don't really know.
You actually like to change things up. For example, at Heroes Con, when you dressed up as Raven, you added pointed ears.
Yeah, I think Raven, I feel like if you're like, I don't know, in my mind, if like with characters like Raven, if like it's a demon or like kind of like a fairy, like magical, like elf kind of person, anything along those lines, you should have pointy ears. I don't know why, but I feel like it just fits with Raven.
Yeah. And you wore, you had these funky, I think, purple lensed sunglasses?
I had flame glasses.
The flamed ones, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember someone complimented you on your distinctive look for that character.
And sadly, those glasses are no longer with us.
Oh, R.I.P. flame glasses.
I want to buy a new pair. I need mine back. But
all right.
Yes.
Anything else?
And then the last thing I got was it was just a little sticker, but there's these performers that I follow that were at Comic-Con. One of them I didn't interact with because every time I was in the area where his booth was, he was never there. But the last day we were kind of just hanging out in the tavern area, and there was the Tiny Big Girl show, and the person she usually performs with, I cannot remember their name right now, but I got a sticker from the Tiny Big Girl show, and I think it's just a cute little sticker where it's her on the unicycle with the flaming clubs when she's juggling them, and I just thought it was a fun little thing because I always watch like the videos of her and her partner and Jax the Whipper on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, because it's like, but I never knew that they were based in like that kind of area. I thought they were like somewhere completely different, so I never expected to see these people, and then I found out all of them are going to be at Emerald City Comic Con, so I thought that was fun.
Well, speaking of the tavern area, that was a nice addition. So Maddie mentioned before how Emerald City Comic Con occupies 2 buildings now, and I don't know when they instituted that, but it was shortly after we stopped going.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we experienced it. And so what they did, and I'll circle back around to the tavern in a second. What they did was that in the arch, what they called the arch building, that's where we used to go exclusively. That building was, in the various floors, that's where the panels were, that's where the artist alley was, that's where the exhibitors were, and the main stage.
Where the main stage like area was, that big open area in between, that's where all the kids stuff was. I feel like I remember it being like in that area. There was
some kid stuff there, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I remember a lot of Disney stuff there.
But what they had this time was the main stage area, and there were some exhibitors in an adjacent room.
Yeah.
Which seemed weird to me.
But that's also where they had all the celebrities stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the Summit building, which was a block or 2 up and 1 over, or maybe the other way around. Anyway, we had to walk there to get to it. And that was more like, but that's how it was when we last went there. It's like everything was like crammed together.
I think that's why I'm so surprised at how spread out everything is.
And remember how when we got there Thursday, like I said, we took the train up, got there about 10:30 to get on the light rail to take us to the stopping point at Westlake Center. And then we had to walk a block and a half to our hotel and ask them to take our bags, but we were able to check in. And this was about 11.
Yeah, we went like maybe an hour late almost every day, and then left at like 4:30 to get dinner and stuff.
That's true, but that was for different reasons than. But my point being, the first thing we did is we went to the Arch building because that's where we always went when we would go to Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah, I was like, why is there nothing?
And there's nobody around and nothing's going on. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, I think we went in and we were looking, and I was like, what is going on? Why is there nothing here? Where is everything?
Where's Emerald City Comic Con?
I was like, this is not a Comic Con. Where is everything?
Yeah, so then we figured that, or we went to Summit and found out where all the stuff actually was. Oh God, where was? Oh, Tavern. So.
Yes, the tavern.
So
on
in the Summit building, there were several floors of stuff, and there were, it was level 0, which was down, under street level, and then the first level was the entrance, and then second level was
that's Artist Alley.
Was that Artist Alley?
Yeah,
that's
level
right.
0's
Exhibitors.
Thank you. I said it. Exhibitors.
Well, Artist Alley and Exhibitors were together also.
Well, yeah, but that's where majority of them were.
There were 2 different levels.
And that's where Tattoo Pavilion was.
Yeah. But then third level was panel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
4th level was
Star Wars and cosplay.
Oh, that's right. Yep. And then the fifth level, the top level, was this tavern area and some other meeting room type stuff. In fact, that's where you mentioned Jacques. What's his?
It's Jacques the Whipper.
Jacques the Whipper.
And the Tiny Big Girl show.
Yes. And they were performing in one of those rooms adjacent to the tavern at some point during the con.
Yeah.
Right.
They performed every single day.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we missed it.
Every single day.
Dang it.
That's because a lot of the shows they were doing were earlier or after hours.
So we should have gone to one of those. If you told me about what are the two ladies called?
The Tiny Big Girl Show.
The Tiny Big Girl Show. If you told me about that before, I would have made sure we went to that because it sounded interesting. Anyway.
Well, because I was going to go to the later show that was on Sunday, but it was after we left. So.
Well, you couldn't.
I know. Exactly. I found out it was after we left. So I was like, okay, never mind.
So, but in the tavern area, and they actually did have an area set off for people over 21
the alcohol was
to enjoy a beer or a wine and sit down and relax. But then there was also this other, the other half of the room was just there were a few vendors there, right? Because that's where you got your
that's where I got henna.
Your henna.
I got a little dragon henna.
And the Jack guy and the
Tiny Big Girl
Tiny
Show.
Big Girls. I want for some reason that I'm mixing it up with Little Big Town in my head, and it's not coming
Those
out
are
right.
two very different things.
I know. But they were there along with the Ren Fair folks were there.
Yeah. And then there was also there's like this area where you can just hang out and like chill. And it was a huge mushroom that was like rainbow lighting and stuff.
It was really it was
kind
of tranquil and relaxing. And people dressed up as fairies would gather there. And then who was that one guy with the big human size?
It's the fairy catcher.
Yeah. Is that what he called himself? The fairy catcher?
The fairy catcher.
Apparently, because we saw him earlier in the weekend going up one of the escalators. And I'm like, Maddie, look, that guy has this huge net. It's like a human-sized net. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I just thought he was doing some weird cosplay thing. Oh, no, it turns out we found out later that, in fact, this is why I wanted to tell the story. Found out later from this couple that we were talking to that no, this is his thing. This is what he does at the con.
At con and Ren Fair.
And Ren Fair, exactly. Yeah, he's the fairy catcher.
And the people who dressed up as fairies will follow behind him and like hide behind him, and he'll like yell out to people who'll be like, "Do you guys see any fairies?"
Yeah.
And the fairies behind him will go, "No, be quiet, like shh." And it's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
The kids love it.
But like I said, that's the point of telling a story, because we went up to the tavern area because we found out, they actually have
food.
A few more selections of food besides pizza. There were more healthy selections, and I appreciated that. Unlike
I wanted hot dogs.
I know.
I had hot dogs 4 times.
But we went elsewhere. But yeah. We still got to talk about the food. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But we went to the tavern area to have lunch and sat down at a table. And then this young couple came with their 2 young children.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought they were adorable. You know, one was dressed up.
They were both dressed up as like Spider-Man characters.
Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man. And she was Ghost Spider.
Yeah, she was Gwen.
Yeah. And so,
that's another trend. Spider-Man was huge this year.
Spider-Man's always huge, though.
Yeah. Hobie was bigger.
Yeah. But I finally, as we were eating, I finally just leaned over and said, "Is this the first time that you've brought your daughters?" And they're like, "Oh no, we've been going to this before them, and we just brought them." And
they brought them since they were little babies.
But the reason I was asking is because I was wondering if it was a similar situation with you, like with you, right? Because we brought you fairly young. I mean, I would not have brought you when you were that young, as they were.
Yeah, they were really young.
Yeah, but they were into it.
Yeah, they loved it.
And in fact, one of the older girl, I presume that day was her birthday, and so it's just a big special day.
Yeah, she was talking a lot to you.
And then we found out the one person over from me down a couple chairs, because she offered stickers to the girls. Yep. And she offered us stickers. And you got one, and
we got Kermit stickers.
Yeah, and I first declined because I'm not into stickers. But she ended up dropping one and fell right in my lap. I'm like, well, I guess this is mine now.
Yes, because I was like, I always want a sticker. Give me stickers. I love stickers.
But it turns out her birthday was earlier that week, so it's just like anyway. I had the best time, and we were just kind of talking back and forth. Me, mostly the guy, the father. And he was telling us, he's the one that told us about the fairy catcher dude and Ren Fair and all that stuff. And it was just a lovely conversation. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about this con. Like I mentioned, I talked to a few people. I stopped by Colleen Duran's booth or table, and I was going to buy
one of the trade collections that she had out that I have not read of hers, but she wanted $40 for it because it was signed by her and
the other person,
the writer.
The other person.
J. Michael Straczynski, I believe.
I have no idea. Don't look.
Anyway, I ended up not buying anything, but what I did tell her was how much I thought Snow Glass Apples was the most beautiful work of art in comic form that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which she was very appreciative of. What?
Going back to the fairy catcher thing, though, it's one of the things that he does. So obviously he has the nets and the fairies that like follow him around and like are around for that in Ren Fair. I know a lot of kids, like the father was talking about, his kids love the fairies and want to go see the fairies. It's like one thing that they do so you know where they are is they wear bells. So as they're walking around and doing stuff, you can hear wherever they are. So you follow the bells to find the fairies and the fairy catcher. And I think that's like a cute little detail that they added for you to know where they are and stuff. And then our stickers, our Kermit the Frog stickers, I thought you would like that. You got a dancing Kermit.
Yeah.
My Kermit says everyone should have their own happy time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's cute. And he's playing his little like banjo, just singing a song.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to share that you got or anything else about Emerald City Comic Con?
I don't really have much more to say about it. I mean,
well, then
I was a little disappointed because I feel like I hyped up Emerald City Comic Con so much.
In your head?
It was, well, not just in my head to other people, but it was, it wasn't as, I guess, magical as as I remember it being. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. I still would go back. I like it. But I also, one other thing that I was going to mention earlier that I forgot was Sebastian's table. I don't remember his last name, but he's the one who has the Niobe books. And I loved the first time I interacted with him. He was super, super nice. And I got the Niobe books and some children's books from him, and he was just super, super nice. And I've been looking to see if he was at any of the cons that we've gone to after that first interaction, but I haven't seen him at all. But yeah, he was at this one. And
he was at this one.
He was at this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I really still want that book, but it was just really expensive. But they're good stories.
So just for some context, there was a collection of, was it the Tales book?
Yeah.
Tales of Niobe book that actually was a misprint. They had something on the back cover that was not spelled correctly.
It was supposed to say stronger, and it was missing the first R.
Anyway, so they were offering a deal to sell them. And then one of the co-writers of the series was the one that we were talking to that first time. And he offered a big deal on that or this other book. But Madison really wanted that, but it was way too much money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But their books and the art in it is amazing, in my opinion. I love it so much. So it's like, I just really like it. Speaking
of wonderful art, so I'm going to end with a few books here that I got. And this is partly for the art. These are the Carmilla graphic novels. There are 3 of them. I bought these at Amy Chu's table, but the art is by Sue Lee. And I've been wanting to read these for a while, and I actually didn't know that the 3rd volume had come out. So I got these to read. So I'll be reading those soon and talking about them on the podcast in the future, I'm sure. Maddie talked about Kizzy Young's print that she got, and I also bought the Horrible Girls art book by her. And look, Maddie, look what's in here.
Hey, look, I'm in there.
It's the same thing. So you should have just got this. Anyway, you should take a look at that. And then there was a table. Siraji's table, and the character, one of these characters he has, I guess it's the character called Mon, an extra dimensional fugitive. And this is the 4th Dimensional Summer of Fun collection. And I just kept walking by and seeing this mostly faceless looking robot character, Mon. And I'm like, well, what is that about? That looks intriguing. And so I ended up talking with him and I bought his graphic novel or the collection here. And so I'll read that as well. And then finally, Madison, there was, how the last thing I went to, I decided to get this. It is a solo RPG book called Be Like a Crow from, who is this? Critical Kit out of the United Kingdom. And that concept intrigued me. And so I wanted to get this. So I
was looking at the Macbeth one.
Yeah, the Macbeth. I know. But that actually was for a D&D campaign.
Oh.
And so it's like, I don't want to get that one. I'll just start with this because this is the series that started it all for this company. And this has a few different,
we should start our own D&D campaign.
I would rather we play D&D with somebody else who's experienced. But anyway, I'm gonna give this a shot and then hand it over to you and you
Cool.
You try it, because I've been really interested in trying to do like GM-less 1 or 2 person player RPG stuff, so that you and I can play together, me and my wife can play together, little things like that without having to have all these rule books and all these dice rolls and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I'm looking towards that. So if anybody out there has any recommendations, I'd love to hear, like for solo or 2-player type RPG stuff. So I think that's about everything. Oh no, we didn't talk about the food. So Madison,
we always forget about food.
Mentioned that she had hot dogs several times a day.
Not several times a day.
Several times during our stay there.
I had hot dogs every single day.
Was it?
Yeah.
So
because I had hot dogs 4 times.
So on the first day, like I said, we got to the hotel shortly after 11, got checked in, our stuff in the room. She had to get ready, and then we walked over there. And then, like I said, we went to Arch first, and then went to Summit, walked around for a bit, and then it was lunchtime, and we had passed a hot dog cart or 2 on the way, and I'm like, oh my God, that smells so good. And so we ended up, I forget, what did we get for lunch? Oh, no, we got pizza that day.
Yeah, I didn't want a hot dog. And then I was like, but I'm really hungry. Right, so we got pizza.
Right. As we're walking up and I'm smelling this wonderful hot dogness on the street, I'm like, do you want to get lunch right now? It's a little early, and you're like, nah. And then we're walking around, and an hour, almost 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, we got to eat lunch. So, but we didn't want to leave the building, which we realized very quickly based on the lack of options.
It was sad. It was so sad. Well, the tavern had more options, and we didn't find out about that until the 3rd day.
Sure. But I mean, the pizza wasn't bad. But it was,
except mine kept falling apart.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, after that, I'm like, nope, we're gonna walk up or down Pike or Pine and see what's available. And we ended up finding, just up the street from the Summit building, was Pike Brewing, and they had these specialty hot dogs and their own beer that they brewed, which was a great option for me. But that was the first hot dog you had was that day.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, well, it's like we should get food because it's like around dinner time-ish. And you're like, what do you want? And I said, a hot dog. And you were like,
That's right. So that was dinner the first night, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
Hot dog.
And then right next door to that was Monorail Espresso. And we found out that not only do they do good espresso.
I like their hot chocolate a lot. Like, I think I chugged 2 hot chocolates that one day. It was so good.
Yeah. And then next door to that was Piroshki. And I actually had one of those for lunch, I think, the next day.
Yeah, the next day, and I had another hot dog.
You weirdo.
I think I had hot dog for lunch the other 3 days. No, because I had mac and cheese one night.
Yeah, because we went up to the tavern on the 3rd day.
Maybe I did have 2 hot dogs in one day, because we had Italian that night then.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an Italian place downstairs near the exit entrance of the Summit building, and we decided to try that out.
It wasn't the best.
Because you like your pasta, but yeah, it was okay. Where else did we eat? Oh, Elephant and Castle.
Yeah.
That was our last night, Saturday night there.
But I had a hot dog for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did have 4 hot dogs, I think, because... Was it 3 or 4?
I think it was 3.
I thought it was 4. Yeah, maybe it was 3, because I had a hot dog the next day for lunch as well.
But we never did try the street vendor hot dogs.
No.
And there were, I swear to God, there were 3 or 4 of them.
Yep.
Over the course of the 4 days that I saw.
Yeah, I just didn't want to walk to them.
Yeah. And there was a nice looking sushi place, but of course, Madison doesn't do sushi.
I don't like seafood.
You're so weird. Anything else food-wise?
Not really.
Yeah.
Nowhere had Dr. Pepper, and that was disappointing.
That was very disappointing, yeah.
I was so annoyed about that because I had to keep drinking Sprite because they had no Dr. Pepper, and I don't really like Sprite.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I drank so much Sprite, but I did.
That's the only option.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, is there anything else that you want to say about Emerald City Comic-Con 2026? Other than you want to go back? Do you want to go back?
Yeah.
Are you excited to go back?
Yes.
Why?
Not as excited as I was originally, but I still like Emerald City Comic Con. It's still one of the bigger Comic Cons that we go to, and I still do enjoy it. But I don't have much of a need to go back as I did before.
Yeah. See, I'm back to where I was before Heroes Con. I don't need to go back to Emerald City Comic Con. I might want to go to Rose City Comic Con one more time, but I felt like the last time that we went, which was, I don't know, 2-3 years ago?
It was 2 years ago. And that time we went with the grandchildren.
Well, they came for one day, but...
they had a lot of fun. No, it was more than one day.
Was it? Oh, no, you're right. It was. Yeah.
Because
Brittany... It was Brittany and her husband that came for one day.
Yes.
And that was one day too long, from what Brittany said.
And me and Hadley were matching pretty much every day for our costumes.
That's right. Yeah, I may want to go back to Rose City one more time since it's so close now, and take the grandkids. But other than that, if I could go to Heroes Con every other year, I think I would be happy.
I still want to do a Comic-Con a year. I love Comic-Con, so going once a year is good for me.
I will say...
but we need to start traveling around to some of the other Comic-Cons.
We'll see.
We need to go to London. Comic-Con in London.
You're paying for this?
No.
Oh, well, I guess we're not going.
Hey.
But I will say this. It is now, like I said, it is now the Tuesday after Emerald City ended, and my legs and my knees, my hips, my back. Oh my God.
You could just say all of you.
And it's not all of me. It's just those things. I'm in pain, folks. And
yeah, my shoulder and my hip.
Oh,
my back hurts a lot, but my back always hurts.
The middle, right between my shoulder blades is so messed up right now because I was carrying that backpack around all weekend. And then sometimes other bags. And you were carrying bags too, but it's like I don't know. I like to think that I'm not too slovenly because I have been exercising, walking and biking and spinning, taking spin classes and stuff. But man, I guess I need to work on the muscles because I'm not having it.
I just have
4 days is too many.
I just have chronic pain issues, so with my back it always hurts. So
you should never go to a Comic-Con again. And that's the end of the show, folks.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm always in pain, but I think those 4 days and stuff definitely hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
My back and my shoulder hurt quite a bit.
Which is funny because you're so much younger than me, and yet you're complaining about all these aches and pains about going to a Comic-Con.
Hey, my hip, dude. if I feel like, because it popped out a couple of days before con, so it's just in pain.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, so
Those shoes were not a good idea.
I told you they weren't. Anyway, so any last words on Emerald City Comic Con, Madison, before we take off?
It was still fun, and it's great for the children.
And the child in us all, right?
Unless you're looking for comics.
Yeah. All right. So, Madison, thank you for sharing your thoughts and memories about Emerald City Comic Con. And do you want to point people to your Instagram for all the cosplay stuff that you posted there?
Here, I'll go Instagram and TikTok, because my TikTok is where I have my new cosplay account.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did make a new account, didn't you?
Specifically for cosplay.
Yeah.
So for my cosplay account, it's just mads.cosplay, but the cosplay is spelled C0SPL4.
Oh, that makes it so much easier for people to type in.
I couldn't just say cosplay, that was already taken. So
yeah, that's all right.
That's my cosplay account.
Okay.
And then my Instagram, my fun little Instagram is just mads2005.24.
All right.
2024.
Well, and I'll put those in the show note, the links in the show notes for people to be able to click and find if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Come say hi to me.
Yeah, interact with Maddie there.
Ask me questions.
You could ask me questions if there's anything that you want to know that about Emerald City Comic Con that maybe we didn't talk about, or just send me a question about anything, like Maddie just said. Nothing about cosplay, because I don't do that.
But talk to me all about cosplay. I would love to talk about it.
And I talk about the comics. So you could do that by emailing me at longboxreview@gmail.com. You can send me text or voicemails, if you prefer, at 208-953-1841, or converse with me on social media. Although Madison, this morning, I got rid of Facebook off my phone. So.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how that's going to work out for me, but.
Go to Blue Sky.
Yeah, that's mostly where I post anyway.
Yeah. I don't interact with Facebook. I only have it for Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd get rid of it if it wasn't because that's the only way I can get a hold of my brother. It's Messenger. Okay. And with that, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.